Howdy, all Moglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days Die. Alright. I did pick up some bullets, but I'm low on bullets. And I think I was making gunpowder. Yeah, I was. Oh man, I need more bullet tips. That's gonna take a little while. Alright, well while you're doing that, I'll run out and... Man, it really looks like the whole thing over there is on fire. I'm gonna run out and... Let me check. I've got 114. I've actually let myself get pretty low on water. So I think I need to run out and get some more. Which shouldn't be too hard to do, one would think. So while I'm doing that, I I didn't want to pick up the turret. I wanted to what? It's a weapon? Well, that's funny. Nope. I want to see if there were settings on it so that I could change what it targets on, since it only seems to awaken when I get near. Alright, where do I gotta go? Actually, it looks like there's some water right next to me here. So I watched the third part of the Fear Street trilogy. It was the best one, honestly. I'm pretty pleased. I was pretty happy with how good. Ooh, don't like something in here. With how good that series was. I wasn't particularly expecting a lot out of it. I've never been a fan of oh, you know what? There's a ladder right here. Of R.L. Stine stuff. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I know I had read that they were it was an adult series, and people were angry about that because they wanted to be able to watch the movies with their kids. Ooh, look at you, big old wolfie. And they weren't going to be able to do that if the new ones were rated R. I mean, I guess it depends on the parents. Uh, uh, I'm not. I'm not sure that it would have been appropriate for small children, but I didn't think it was so bad. I've lost my stack of there. But yeah, as a whole, it was pretty fun. They, it was a, I guessed in the first, the first movie, because it's a trilogy. What the deal was? Spoilers. I guess I forgot to say spoilers. Spoilers for Fear Street. And when they mentioned that they had found the body of this witch um, on the line dividing the two towns. And I was like, oh, so the town where everything goes right is obviously sacrificing people from the town where everything goes wrong, so that everything goes right for them. And that is what happened. That is what was happening. Uh, but yeah, it was pretty good. There was a lot of nods to horror movies from the past that I particularly thought made it fun to watch for me as a fan of horror movies. Um, there was like the first one was I don't I don't know if the first one fell into any particular movie vein other than supernatural killers coming after people. Maybe a little Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe, but there wasn't a specific guy that was coming after everybody. Uh, and then and then the second one was definitely like Friday the 13th kind of thing because it all took place on a campground. Well, the stuff in so the way the movie is broke down, or the trilogy is broke down, is there's a story taking place in 1994, and then the story relates to something that happened in 1978, and all of it comes from what happened in 1666. And so the first movie is 1994, starts the story, and so the 1994 stuff is in each of the three movies. Um, oh man, you know what? I picked up those water jugs, and then I totally didn't even fill them with water. And so I rather enjoyed the beginning uh, when they got in there and with the first movie. I'm gonna need more brass too while I'm at it here. No, not brass. Bullet casings. Sorry, bullet casings are also known as brass. So in my mind, I was just like, oh yeah, brass. I need brass for my bullets. And so in the first one they had the whole deal with the kids from 1994 were fighting each other. They're school rivals, I guess you could say, and just rivals altogether because Sunnyvale never had a bad day, and Sunnydale never had a good day. And so, all right, so I have bullets, and I've got food and water on me. So I think this should be a good opportunity to head back out to do some more scavenging, like I was doing. And so the 1994 story kind of centers around this couple, and the one she has become her parents moved her to Sunnyvale, and then the other one she's still in Shadydale, and so And then, of course, when she moved to Sunnyvale, she starts dating one of the football players or whatever. And so that's what sets it all off for 1994. Uh, and Killer kills somebody, several people, before the police shoot him. And then that's how it starts, I guess. And then the kids, I talked about this before, but they were on one group of them was on a bus, the other group was in a car. The car started chasing the bus. The kids on the bus opened the back door and threw a Gatorade jug out the back door, which caused them to a Gatorade jug, a cooler, a water cooler, those big yellow ones, out the back door, and caused the car to wreck. And so the one girl from the couple, I don't remember everybody's names. She I do know it's Sarah Veers and Hannah Miller from 1666, but I don't remember what their names are from the other two sets, because names are like, I don't know, a paper boat on a river to me. They're gone and then drowned and never to be seen again half the time. So uh, the girl who had moved to Shadyvale, we'll call her Hannah. Hannah um, hit her head and then bled on the body of the witch, Sarah. And when she did that, she had a vision. And so now all the killers are coming after Sarah. That's not her name, but I don't remember what it is. Woo. And so they try to figure out how to stop them, is the first movie. And they know that this woman was involved in the 1978 incident. And so they go to see her to see how she survived it. And they got like a little poem about how the witch will come for you and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. The different killers were interesting. I wish there'd been more movies, honestly, because they've got a handful of killers, but they only have a movie about one of them. And I would have liked to have seen the stories. I mean, I guess the 1994 killer Skullface, which had been like from Scream, kind of a nod toward that, probably. Um, like he was there in 1994, but you didn't really get much of his story necessarily. And so, uh, they, dude, my brain is like not working, and I keep saying like a million times tonight. So they go and figure out that the killers are following Sarah's blood, not Sarah, Hannah's blood, the 1994 Hannah. I say that because they use the same people to play the parts in the 1666 movie. Um, like when the one girl's having her vision of what happened in the past, which is what makes up the 1666, most of the 1666 movie. It is the characters from the 1994 movie playing 1666 parts. And so yeah, so they figure out that the killers are attracted to the blood of the person who bleeds on um on the witch's bones. That is what they figure out. And so, you know what? I'm pretty sure. I know there's some stuff down here. I guess I'll jump down and work on this stuff down here too. But I know that most of this stuff is up on the roof. I think there's like a little gun store section down here. Oop. Totally didn't see that guy was still alive. Oh man, got myself a concussion. Can I take... I'm going to take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Try and get some health up here. And so then the second movie, right, it's set back in 1978, and you find out that they showed it in the first. Oh no, it's empty down here. Weird. Well, the gun safe's not empty. They showed it in the first movie, but a name. I think they showed it in the first movie. A name goes on this wall of stone tablets, and then that person becomes a crazed killer. They do show it in the first movie because it happens to one of the kids who the movie's about. They're not kids, but you know what I mean. And so they are having a little camp, and most of the kids there are. It's a teen camp thing, so the counselors are like 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, whatever, and then the actual kids in the camp are like slightly younger, like maybe 14 to 18-year-olds, and so the the nurse, her daughter is one of the killers that they talk about in the show, and so she has figured out that whatever happened. Oh, dang it. Whatever happened where the campground is. She figures that out. And so she's there so that they can, because she believes that the curse is the poem. And the poem says that as long as Sarah Veer's hand has separated from her body, because they cut off her hand, then the town will remain in her undead, evil grasp. And so she's looking for the hand because Sarah Veers was killed in is that one of my bases? Sarah Veers was killed in 1666 by hanging, and so the tree where she was hung is on the campground, and so they believe the hand is there somewhere as well. And so someone sends a new killer after the people on the camp, and so one of the characters turns into a killer and starts hunting for starts hunting people, just hunting them with an axe. I don't remember what his particular name would have been, but yeah, it was pretty good. I like that one too. And then the third one was my favorite, for sure. And that one was set in 1666. Now they have not figured out how to. Interesting. Um, one of the characters got possessed in the first movie, and so I think they're still trying to figure out that. I can't remember if it was the second movie or the third movie when they get her unpossessed, but what they're told is the only way to free the person who has bled on the witch's corpse is to not strangle, sorry, they have to die. Once you're dead, then the curse stops. And so the girl, who's now an adult, um, she she was killed. She just wasn't hacked up like everybody else. And so they managed to revive her, but because she had died, that ended her foray into the curse and freed her from the witch's curse. And so the third movie, 1666, then goes back to show where the curse came from, and of course it's all a big lie. There is a curse. There is a witch. There is a curse, but it wasn't Sarah. Uh, and and so they go through the whole thing where Sarah and her friends get accused of. Well, Sarah and Hannah are a couple, which of course in 1666 gets you killed. I mean, even now it can get you killed, but in 1666 it was definitely going to get you killed. And um, and so there was people involved. What is that? Barbed wire mod. Okay. People who were involved in what was happening, who were angry that they were a couple on the down low because they didn't want anybody to know. Hey, chili dog recipe. Cool, I can use that. I've been collecting cans of chili for such a purpose. And, oh, and my inventory is now completely full. And so, yeah, it was super good. They did a really good job. I like the storyline they had going. The town folk went crazy over how there were witches. Things really started to go bad, but I'm pretty sure what was going bad was probably, I think it's pronounced ergot. They had ergot poisoning, which is mold that forms on grains. And so the people in the town started experiencing ergot poisoning, and then they decided it was witchcraft. And then um, Sarah went to this old woman. She wasn't old, but went to this Widow Mary, I think was her name. And Widow Mary had a book on spells to summon the devil. And someone killed the widow and took the book and then used the spell to curse Union, which is the settlement that Shadydale and Sunnyvale come from. And so and so they don't manage to stop the curse, of course, in the movie because we're looking at 1994, still having the curse. But they do show where it came from, who caused it, all that stuff. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And then they jump forward to 1994 and maybe put a stop to it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they put a stop to it because one of the things that they do, which I thought was fun as you're watching the movie, is they'll have these little news announcements about what's happening in Sunnyvale, and they'll just be playing in the background, and you'll hear like, Sunnyvale's football team has just won their 19th straight, state championship, and uh, or for the 22nd straight year, there have been zero crimes in Sunnyvale, and so as soon as they break the curse in the movie, this dude is backing out of his driveway and gets hit by a garbage truck. I'm like, oh, well, curse is broken. Things are now just normal for Sunnyvale. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. So you got the witch uh, whole storyline that was excellent. You had the camp slasher for the second movie, which I thought was pretty good. And then you got not really Scream, but more Nightmare on Elm Street, I think. Um, a little possession, maybe a little exorcism, a little dash of The Exorcist tucked in there. So yeah, so if you like horror movies, like the old campy ones, I thought it was really fun. Uh, and then I was talking with a guy. He had watched the first movie and didn't like it, and so he definitely wasn't going to continue because he doesn't like horror movies. So we were talking about action movies that had come out recently, and we talked about Black Widow. He also was not impressed with Black Widow, and I do. Speaking of Black Widow, just a real quick here before I talk about the other movie I watched today. Was man, uh, I read this article that they're trying to blame how Black Widow is not doing super well financially as compared to other Marvel movies that have come out. And they're trying to say that's because it got released on Disney Plus at the same time. Every time this happens, they try to blame it on the streaming service. But I have to say that the movies that they're trying to blame the streaming service as the reason it's not doing well have all been movies that I was like, I don't know what happened here, but this movie is not great. They said the same thing about Mulan, and I didn't think that one was good at all. Um, I mean, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't awful. I'm not saying it was awful, but as a fan of the original Mulan, it was not great. Man, I got so much stuff here. I don't know where it all needs to go, and my inability to see where things go. So yeah, so we were talking about action movies because of Black Widow, and he had mentioned Ava, AVA, movie I hadn't seen, and so I watched that today. That was pretty good. It wasn't amazing. Uh, I definitely have seen better in that genre. I thought Gunpowder Milkshake was better than that one. Uh, but then I watched Peppermint, which I thought the trailer looked dumb, and I wasn't going to watch it. But then after watching Ava, it popped up, and I was like, you know, I should probably watch. That one turned out to be quite good. I was impressed. Jennifer Garner is kind of hit or miss for me. And then we talked about, all right, what do we got to do to make, ooh, what is that noise? Oh, that's the water jugs, right? It's like there's no room for any of the things that you've got cooking in me. I hadn't seen Hotel Artemis yet, which I had always intended to. So I started watching that one today too. That one's pretty good. But Peppermint was way better than I was expecting it to be. I didn't realize it was a revenge thriller. I thought it was just gonna be another, I don't know, action movie, and it actually was probably. I think I might have enjoyed that better than Gunpowder Milkshake, and I thought Gunpowder Milkshake was pretty good. And like I said, then the other one that I've been watching today, which I'll finish when I finish recording here, is Hotel Artemis, which has been pretty enjoyable so far. It's not as good as Peppermint, but I have quite enjoyed it. Oh, right, I was going to look to see how to make those chili dogs. Right, chili meat and cornbread. Corn. I only have 11 corn. No, I was going to say, I have more than that. And then chili. Oh, I only have 2 cans of chili. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, because I didn't make the cornbread right. I think I need water for that. Yeah. But yeah, so if you're looking for some good action flicks, all of those are pretty well worth checking out. And if you're looking for a good horror series, Fear Street is great. And I just wish, so they've got a slew of killers in there. And so they had the Reverend Cyrus, who they showed from 1666. And then there was, I didn't catch his name, but there was like this kid who wore a doll mask. And then there was another dude who had a big hood pulled down over his head. And there was Ruby Lane is the one I wish they had a movie for, which was the daughter of the camp nurse from 1978. And then they had the dude who hacked people with an axe from 1978. And then they had the skull-faced dude. I think that was all their killers. Oh, no, there was the Milkman killer as well, who I only know because I saw a webpage talking about the different killers, because I don't think they ever mentioned his name in the movie. So I definitely would have liked to have seen the rest of that story. All right, well, I think this is where I'm going to call it today. So be better than the small things, lean into the light, and I will talk to you later.